money is still an issue for you. You're still thinking about how do I make money, which means you have a choice, which means you don't have freedom and you're not really free. Sure, the path you're on may get you to freedom, to the point where you finally have a choice, to a point where your dreams become a reality. The only question is, and next week, next month, next year, 5, 10, 20 years from now, how long is it going to take? Whenever will you be free to live the life you want? And what is the price you're willing to pay for it? Is doing the same thing you're doing right now going to get you there? I don't think so. You know it, I know it. The only thing standing between you and the life you truly want, the fact that money is still an issue for you. And the reason money is an issue and you don't have the freedom you always wanted is because all along you sat on the sidelines watching everyone else get in. And you watched everyone else get rich. Everyone else but you. Everywhere you turn, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TV, there they are. 17-year-olds buying Lambos, 65-year-olds buying yachts, 26-year-olds retiring, and here you are, just sitting on the sidelines watching it all happen. Happening to everyone else but you. There they are, they're all getting rich. They're sitting on the sidelines watching them get rich. I'm wondering, will I ever get a chance like that again? Well, I have good news and bad news for you. The bad news is, while you're still sitting there on the sidelines, watching all this happen right in front of your very eyes, and wondering that, thinking about how you missed out, trying to plan and figure out your next move, thinking about you'll make something out of nothing so you can build your fortune, a fortune that will be the solution to all your problems, a fortune that will set you free, a fortune that will finally allow you to start living the life you want, without having to spend the next 20 to 30 years selling your soul. In exchange for job security at a company that could care less about you, your well-being, or your dreams, without having to pay the odds investing in things you know are stacked against you. Stocks, bonds, mutual funds, CDs, real estate, network marketing, or starting your own business. While you're wasting your time thinking about all that, searching, hoping, and praying for an answer to all your problems, millions upon millions of dollars are being made right under your very nose. Life-changing money. Made in a matter of days and weeks, not years and decades. And I'm not talking about a few bucks here and there. And I'm not talking about Wall Street bankers, traders, or the elite 1% doing it either. I'm talking about millions upon millions of dollars being made by people no different than you or your next door neighbor. Heck, your neighbor might even be one of them. They're everywhere now, these secret millionaires. People you see and talk to every day from all walks of life, secretly becoming millionaires. And the only difference between you and them is they know something you don't, which allows them to do something you can't. And that something is what allows them to literally tap a few keys on their phones, just like that, make millions of dollars faster than you ever thought was possible, without having to invest in stocks, bonds, mutual funds, without having to come up with that $1 million idea, without having to start a business based on that idea. Millions of dollars made by average people, no better, no smarter, no educated than you. This is a whole new world where the biggest transfer of wealth is taking place. Not to the top 1%, but to the rest of the 89%. To average folks like you and me. Average folks that for the first time in history have the power to go from nothing to becoming millionaires. All they have to do is be smart enough not to let this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity pass them by again. Instead, be smart enough to act on it, and act on it fast, and act on it by following the simple steps you're about to discover. Because in the time you've been watching this video, somewhere, someone just like you became a millionaire, and they did it because they knew exactly what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. They all play the same game, no rocket science. All you have to do is get in with $1 investment, get out with $10 profit. Go back in with that 10 and get out with $100 profit. Then go back in with that 100 and then get out with $1,000 profit. Turn $1 investment into a $1,000 profit. And here's the crazy part. That's just one strategy of getting rich. In many cases, there's no need to get out. That initial $1 becomes $1,000. Sometimes 2, sometimes 10. Sometimes even $100,000. That's when you get out. And you do that over and over again as many times as you want. And as you're watching this video, That's exactly what they're doing right now. And that's exactly what you could be doing. And that's exactly how millions upon millions of dollars are being made every single day by average people from all walks of life. New millionaires are being minted every week, and billionaires born every few months. And you're about to miss out on all that once again. But lucky for you, because you landed on this page and you're watching this video, that's not going to happen this time if you watch to the very end. Because the video is going to take you behind the scenes and show you how the world's most lucrative game of making money is being played, who the real players are, how they're playing the game, how they set the rules of the game, plus how they tap into little-known technology cycles that allows them to turn dollar investments into $1,000 profits over and over again. And once you know how the game is played and how they really do it, you'll have the opportunity to do it too. And that's why this video isn't just another video. This video is literally your second chance at life. But it's the only chance you're going to get, so you have to move fast because time is running. You can't let doubt decide your future again, because this is the one and only chance you'll ever get at this. So don't waste it. Ignore that text message. Don't answer that call. Forget that Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube exist for the next 7 minutes. Come a little closer, turn up the volume, and pay very close attention to the next 7 minutes. Because in the next 7 minutes, I'm going to show you 7,000 simple ways you'll be able to make money from the second chance you've just been given. The good news is, it only takes 1 out of the 7,000 to change your life. And you don't even have to know how to do it. All you have to do is be able to follow step-by-step directions that I'm going to outline for you in this video. And once you follow those step-by-step directions, you'll finally be in the game where turning $1 into $1,000 is possible, over and over again. You'll be on your way to becoming a secret millionaire too. And most importantly, you'll go from having to choose to having a choice, to having freedom, to doing whatever, however, whenever you want. You'll go from having dreams to living your dreams. And you being able to do any of that is all thanks to a single event that took place on October 31st, 2008. A single event that changed everything and took the power away from the 1% and gave it to the rest of us, which allowed over 100,000 of us to become millionaires and 17 to become billionaires. That's the date a technology was created that changed the world. Technology that is single-handedly responsible for creating more millionaires than anything else in history. A technology that no one controls. And because no one can control it, anyone who knows how to tap into it has an honest shot at creating wealth from it. But as long as you know what to do, you can create as much wealth from it as you want. And no, I'm not talking about getting rich from Bitcoin. Bitcoin was the first cycle of the technology that started the revolution. Those that were early got out. They became wealthy beyond their wildest dreams. The million-dollar question is, how do you get rich from what happens after Bitcoin? That's the million-dollar question. And by the end of this video, you're going to have a million-dollar answer handed right to you. Because Bitcoin solved the most complex problem when it comes to digital currencies. The same problem that has stumped the smartest mind in the technology industry, which was the double spending problem. You see, for decades, the smartest people in the world have tried and failed to create a digital currency. The reason they all failed has to do with one thing and one thing only: the problem of double spending. Which means if you have $10 worth of a digital currency, you could send $10 to one person and at the same time send $10 to another person, spending $20 instead of the $10 you originally had. This double spending problem is what caused every single digital currency before Bitcoin to fail. Bitcoin solved that problem with the invention of the blockchain, where the miners on the blockchain validate every single transaction, keeping everyone honest, which means if you send $10 to someone, that's it. That's all you could send, not a penny more. And because of that single problem being solved, it created the most stable, secure digital currency system in the world. It has never been hacked before. And since it was never hacked, that means millions of people trust it and put money into it. Millions of people put in and take out millions of dollars every single day. And even though that's pretty amazing, that was the only problem Bitcoin solved. But it comes short at solving all the other problems in the world. You see, because Bitcoin solved the main problem, which was the double spending problem, also created other problems. Because now, a whole new world of possibilities opened up. And because of all these new possibilities, a second cycle of the crypto technology has begun, where other problems are being solved. Other problems such as voting fraud, medical records, money transfers, bank loans, private data storage, retail goods, consumer goods, insurance claims, telecommunications technology, commerce, and much more. And whoever is the first to solve those problems and countless other problems stand to make hundreds of millions and billions of dollars. Just like Google, who solved the problem of organizing all the world's information through search. Just like Facebook, who solved the problem of connecting the entire world through social media. Just like Amazon, who solved the problem of shopping for anything and everything with a click of a mouse. The same thing is happening in other areas of blockchain. And all the lucrative problems are being solved by new coins, called coins, which stands for alternative coins, which are just like Bitcoin, but used to solve other problems that Bitcoin couldn't solve. And as each altcoin's problem, those that own these coins stand to gain massive profit in their investments. Just like those that owned Google, Facebook, or Amazon stock early on. Just like Sergey Brin or Larry Page, who started Google, are worth $103 billion each. Just like Mark Zuckerberg started Facebook, who is now worth $118 billion. And just like Jeff Bezos, who started Amazon, is the world's richest man at a net worth of $187 billion. Now compare that to some of the names you probably never even heard of, who are now building their fortune by creating and investing in Bitcoin. Like Brock Pierce, who helped found, is now worth $5 billion. Or Anthony Delorio, who co-founded crypto wallet, is now worth over $8 billion. Or Vitalik Buterin, who is only 24 years old, who founded Ethereum, he's now worth over $16 billion. And these guys and countless others who got and supported these projects are quietly becoming some of the wealthiest people on earth. The most unsolvable problems in the world are now being solved, all thanks to the power of blockchain technology that Bitcoin started. And if you really think about it, the wealthiest people on earth all became wealthy by solving the most complex problems. And those who supported them also became wealthy because they supported the solutions to those problems. Which brings me to the point of how you can build your wealth. Not by solving the problems, but by supporting the solutions to those problems. And the way you support the solution is by investing in the altcoins that solve those problems. Are you starting to see it now? You don't have to create a coin or solve the problem yourself. All you have to do is discover who's solving the problem and invest in their altcoin. Get on those positions, sit back, relax, and watch your investment grow, doing nothing other than tapping a few keys on your phone or computer to get in or to cash out. The key is knowing what altcoins are in the first place and which altcoins solve them. Then all you have to do is connect the dots. Get in early and get out on time. Go in with $1 and have a chance to potentially walk out with over $1,000 over and over again. And when you do this enough times, you can be set for life. You can go from thinking about how to make money to never having to think about it ever again. Or you can ignore all that. Pretend it's not happening. Continue on the sidelines watching everyone else do this and get rich. Who else but you? And continue doing what you've been doing all along and take the hard, long path in life. I'll give you 3 seconds to decide. 3, 2, 1. Still with me? Good. The decision to stay here and watch this video is the single most important decision of your life. Because the moment you landed on the video, your life began to change and you didn't even know it. In just a few moments from now, You're about to be handed the keys to your freedom, because I'm about to hand you a step-by-step process that will allow you to discover the most profitable altcoins that are solving the biggest problems in the world right now. Then I'll show you how to look for little-known profit indicators which will let you know the exact timing you should be going into those altcoins. And then I'll show you how to look for signs that will tell you when it's time to cash out. My name is Iman Shafi, and I'm where you should be. I'm 23 years old, semi-retired, living in the Caribbean, and I'm a self-made crypto multimillionaire. Not because I got lucky, but because 2 years ago, I stumbled upon a little-known loophole in the system that allowed me to predict the future. Not once, not twice, but over and over again. And using the little-known loophole, I was able to predict with a 93% accuracy which altcoins would take off and which would come crashing down. This little loophole is what allowed me to go into different altcoins with $1 and walk out with $10. Then get with that 10 into another altcoin and come out with 100. Turn that 100 into 1,000, another altcoin altogether, and turn that $1,000 into millions, doing this over and over again. I know it sounds too good to be true, and if I were you on the other end watching this video, I think that too. But I have proof of all of my predictions, and I'll show you others who've used these predictions to get massive returns on their investments as well. Take a look at this. In 2018, when Bitcoin crashed down to $3,000 and everyone was jumping ship and trying to get out, I predicted Bitcoin would go beyond $50,000, and that prediction came true. In 2019, Ethereum would go from $70 to $2,500, and that came true. Early 2020, I predicted that Polkadot would go from $3 to $3, and that came true. In 2020, I predicted that Cardano would go from 20 cents to $1, and that came true. Then I predicted that Engine would go from 50 cents to $4, and that too came true. The list goes on, and when altcoins increases by 1,000, 2,000, even 3,000%, it becomes easy to turn $1 into 10 into 100, 100 into 1,000, and $1,000 into 10,000. And next thing you know, you're a self-made millionaire. Money is no longer an issue, and you finally never have to work ever again. But knowing that it's possible to predict the future is one thing, and knowing how to do it is entirely another thing. So I'm going to show you how I do it, how others use the system to do it, and most importantly, how you can do it too. They say the best way to predict the future is to create it. But if you can't create it, the next best way is to be around those who can, and ride the wave of success. So let me take you back to 2015 and tell you the story of how I stumbled upon a discovery that changed my life. The same discovery that will change yours. The same discovery that will allow you to turn $1 into $1,000. It all started with a small group of unknown web developers in Toronto, Canada, who were making money hand over fist without knowing. In 2015, my life looked very different than it does today. I was 18 years old, going to the University of Toronto, studying to become a medical doctor. The life path in front of me is probably the life path that's in front of you. Go to school, get a job, work for 20 to 30 years, and pay off the student loans. In between that, get a girlfriend, get married, get a mortgage, have kids, and live happily ever after. That was the plan. Long something went wrong with all that. And that's something when I realized that in order for me to get to where I want to get to, I'd trade the best years of my life only to enjoy life at the very end. Run a rat race and then get a prize at the finish line. Something about that whole idea didn't sit well with me, because I knew deep in my soul that if I stuck around doing that, that's all my life amounted to. So I started looking for a better way. After spending months and months of research, I figured the best way to make money would be to start a business. And the best business to start would be an online business. After all, everywhere you looked, everyone was doing it. So I figured it couldn't be that hard. The thing is, to be honest, I didn't even want to create a whole new business. I just wanted to make money. So what I did while figuring that out was get a full-time job working at this data security company to support myself while learning about creating an online business. And it was at this data security company that I met a group of experts who were investing in a little known technology called Bitcoin. Today, they are making more than the CEO of that data security company. In 2015, I had no idea what Bitcoin was, how it worked, and why it was important. But every day I came into work, all I heard was how much money those guys were making. Their Bitcoin investments went from $100 to $1,000 to $10,000 to $100,000. And pretty soon, they're making more money from their Bitcoin investments than they were from their jobs in their entire career. These guys were making more money from Bitcoin than they were working their entire lives. And soon after, many of them ended quitting and investing in other things. And while working there, I got to know these guys. And that's when they taught me how they were doing it. They told me to take the money I was earning from my job, which to be honest wasn't that much, and put it all in Bitcoin. That's exactly what I did. And within months, the price of Bitcoin exploded and my investment turned into $250,000 cash. Now I want you to stop for a moment and think about that for just a second. At my day job, I had to wake up every day at 6 a.m., take an hour to work, show up at 7 a.m., and leave at 7 p.m. 12-hour work days. That's 3,120 hours of my life gone forever for just $50,000 a year, which comes out to me creating my life 1 hour at a time for $19 an hour. Compare that to $250,000 from taking a few keys off the computer for 12 minutes. Can you even do the math on that? That comes out to $20,833 an hour. That's over 1,000 times more power than I made while chained to my desk. That's 20 times more than the most expensive attorneys in the world. That's 30 times more than the best doctors ever make. And that's when reality punched me in the face and caused the biggest shift in my life. Everything I ever believed, everything I've ever been taught, everything I've ever seen was just flipped on its head in just 12 minutes. And I had a decision to make. The same decision you're about to be confronted with. You, like me, can either spend the next 12 months working, spend the next 10 years paying off your student loans, spend the next 2 years paying off your mortgage, spend the next 3 years saving for retirement, or doing things differently that lets you shortcut life. And that shortcut to the life of your dreams is just one decision away. And I knew, just like you for yourself, that wasn't even a decision for me. Because at that instant, I realized this was my ticket to wealth. My ticket to freedom, my ticket to fast track life. From having to spend 20 to 30 years working to settle for less, to being able to spend 2 to 3 years and having everything I always dreamed of. But there was only one problem with all that. All success from Bitcoin came from the guys I knew were doing it. All I did was just follow their directions, and I had no clue as to how to do this myself. But I knew two things. One, I just made $250,000 from a $5,000 investment, and I experienced firsthand that was possible. And two, I needed to figure out how this was done so I could replicate the success over and over again. So I dove head first in the deep end of the crypto game. I spent all of my free time studying, reading, and learning anything and everything about cryptocurrencies. I studied the research reports which told me what to do. I read the blogs which told me the latest news and insights about crypto. I studied white papers which taught me more about how the actual crypto technology works. I watched all the YouTube videos which told me how to actually use the blockchain. I joined the secret Telegram groups which got me talking to other crypto investors. I went to real-life Bitcoin conferences in 3 different countries. And little by little, I started to put together the pieces of the puzzle of how the game of making money with crypto really worked. I could see how and why Bitcoin skyrocketed and why others would implode. I took all my knowledge and everything I learned and I started making money with it. I was able to get into VeChain at 2,000th of a cent and exit at 20 cents. It doesn't seem like much, does it? But my investment here 10,000%. Then I was able to get into EOS at $2.30 and exit at $10. This single move increased my investment 434%. But that's not the end. I was able to get into NEO at $18 and exit at $120 That gave me a 688% gain on my investment. Win after win. One after one. But there was only one problem with that. I was still relying on luck. I was still guessing which coins would go up, down, or sideways. Because while on some coins I would generate up to 1,000% gains, on others I would lose just as much, if not more. You know what they say, you win some, you lose some. Well, that's what was happening here, and that meant I didn't have a proven step-by-step system that would tell me exactly how to consistently winners. A step-by-step system I could use to find an altcoin and know if it was smart choice to invest in. There was something missing. There was a missing link, and that was how blockchain and crypto technology are used in everyday lives. And that was one piece missing from everything. Because if you look back at the internet when it was first created, it was mostly used by the military and universities. It had no real application, but fast forward 30 years later and the whole world is plugged in, and trillions of dollars are being made by billions of people. This was the same paradigm shift taking place in 30 years, 3 years. And this means that had real world actions would not only survive, but in time stop, become indispensable to mankind. Knowing this would allow me to accurately predict which altcoins were on the verge of a breakout and also were on the verge of crashing down. With that knowledge, I was also able to predict the future, predict which altcoins was worth investing in, when to invest in and when to avoid them, when to get in and when to get out. Yup, this is that simple. It was that easy, a 6th grader could do it. But as long as they had this missing link, and that's where I placed the biggest bet of my life, into finding this missing link. Because I knew once I did, I could print money. I searched high and low, and there wasn't anywhere publicly talking about any of this except for one place. MIT, which was one of the only places on earth teaching cryptography and cryptocurrency. So what did I do? You got it. I enrolled into MIT and I started taking class. Little did I know that I was about to go to the deepest depths of the crypto technology and uncover the real cutting-edge applications that were to be developed on the blockchain and how it would all be used by you, me, and everyone else on earth in years to come. The professors at MIT were the only ones who developed a lot of those base technologies that were used in the blockchain, and within months, I knew how it all worked. For the first time in my life, I could see how altcoins could, would, and will shape our lives. For example, this well-known coin called Solve Altcoin was focused on fixing database problems in the trillion-dollar healthcare market. This meant turning the healthcare market for data management upside down, more effectively protecting, securing, and organizing patient files and sensitive information. The blockchain was and is becoming the fastest, most secure network for doctors, labs, and patients to communicate without having to pay the middleman fees to do so. That is just one real-world solution to a massive real-world problem that was making the owners of this altcoin rich. But that was just the beginning. I then learned about Cardano, an altcoin which was solving a problem so big that it could bring down entire countries. Election fraud. And if you've never heard of this altcoin, you're about to see how it can literally change the politics of the world. Cardano can be used to tally votes on the blockchain. This means votes can no longer be changed or altered. No more rigged elections. It levels the playing field for all candidates, and not one single person has control. Or how about another well-known altcoin called Engine, which is being used to solve the problem of online gaming transactions. Yes, the multi-billion-dollar game industry is now starting to use blockchain technology too. Those are just 3 examples of countless altcoins that solve real-world problems. And when they solve real-world problems, they survive the dips, crashes, pump dumps, and everything else in between. Coins with real-world utility stand the test of time and continue to increase in value, whereas altcoins with no real-world use, or what you might call speculative coins that come and go. Knowing this, I developed a strategy for investing in altcoins that, as was already proving true, was about to change everything and turn the art of picking altcoins into science. A step-by-step process anyone could start using to win. It's all based on a profit pattern that all altcoins have in common. Once you align these three conditions, the probability of the altcoin going up increases to 93%. The first step of the pattern is utility. What is the actual real-world application of this coin? What is the actual problem it's solving? And is money to be made by solving that problem? And in turn, how is it going to affect everyday lives? It's like the Solve altcoin, which is solving the problem of medical data management. What is the utility of the coin in the real world? Once you figure that out, the fact that an altcoin has actual utility, you're 1/3 of the way there. Then you need to identify the second part of the profit pattern, which is the sentiment and momentum support behind the altcoin. Who's behind the altcoin? Who's supporting it? Who's telling others about it? And where are they telling them about it? Twitter, Telegram, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, or Facebook? Is there a viral uptick? Once you know this, you're 2/3 of the way there. Which finally brings us to the final step in being able to recognize the profit pattern, which is the team behind the altcoin. Great tech teams create great altcoins. So knowing who's behind the altcoin, who are the founders, who's coding and developing it, and who's going to stand behind the most critical pieces of technology to make or break altcoin. Once you know that and you combine it with the idea of utility and momentum, you'll have discovered the profit pattern underlying all altcoins. Because every single winning altcoin in this has the same pattern. If one is missing, the altcoin doesn't go anywhere. And once you're able to recognize this pattern, you're going to be able to do something you couldn't do before. And that's something to predict the future. Not just once, but over and over again. Predictions on demand. You'll go from aiming blind, guessing which altcoins will go up, to being able to predict with pinpoint accuracy where to bet your hard-earned cash and win. You'll know out of thousands of coins which are going to take off like a rocket, and which are going to come crashing down, taking everyone with them. And once you're able to recognize and use this profit pattern, all you have to do is follow the sequence and pick winners over and over again. And that's exactly what I did. And I kept picking winners, one after another. And shortly after the age of 23, I did something no one in my family had ever done. Instead of becoming a doctor, I became a self-made millionaire. And while having millions of dollars in the bank is great, that's not the best part. The best part is freedom that comes with it. Most people go from cradle to grave without knowing what true freedom feels like. You may think you're free, but are you really? Not having to worry about money is true freedom. Not having to wake up at 6 a.m. to go to work is true freedom. Not having to ask for permission to take a vacation is true freedom. Not having to do anything you don't want to is true freedom. And most importantly, not having to rely on anyone yourself for security is the ultimate freedom. And the only way you can experience true freedom is to live it. So I decided to live it by semi-retiring in the Caribbean for the next few years while I figured out what I really wanted to do with the rest of my life. And that's where the story of my life takes a turn and gets interesting. Because my idea of retiring in the Caribbean meant that I was done with work, and I essentially had enough money so I would never have to work again. But as you'll see in just a moment, when you reach a point in your life where you don't really have to make any more money, opportunities seem to find you and present themselves. Opportunities that you know what to do with. And that's exactly what happened to me when I moved to the Caribbean. I started meeting others who were a lot like me, but ahead of me. Guys who went from nothing to something, and then went from something to being worth hundreds of millions of dollars, and some even becoming billionaires. As I got to know them, I realized something. That something is that as much money as I've made with the crypto boom, this was only the beginning, and I've only scratched the surface. In fact, I didn't even make 1% of what I could have made. I had enough so I never had to work again. I realized I wanted to make so much that my kids, my grandkids, and their kids would never have to work again either. So I could make a difference not only in my life, but in lives of everyone around me. So I decided it was time to go back into the market. It was time to set everything up. There was only one problem though. There are over 7,000 altcoins out there right now. That meant if it was me alone, it would take me years to go through them all. The fact is, it was just me and I only had 24 hours a day. It was a semi-retirement and I didn't want to work all the time. 10 hours a week is the maximum I wanted to spend on it. So I decided to look for others who were just like me when I first started and train them on the process of identifying coins who meet the profit patterns and turning those plays into cold hard cash. I assembled a small team of researchers who used the process I developed to go out there and discover the newest altcoin and figure out which of those altcoins would meet our criteria for maximum profit potential. Every day, every week, every month, our research team would look for altcoins that could turn a dollar investment to $1,000 profit. They would prepare research reports for me to read and evaluate. And here's what these reports look like. My only job was to read the report and say yes or no. Yes meant let's go into the altcoin. No meant leave it, keep digging. Because remember, there were 7,000 altcoins, and just picking one could change your life forever. But I was looking for one. I wanted to know all of the winners. It was that easy. Forward to the outline of the utility factor of the altcoin, which will tell you how the altcoin would be used in the real world. It will tell you if the altcoin has a strong community and momentum behind it. So you can tell this is happening so you can see it for yourself, and it will tell you all about the founders and the tech team behind it all. Plus the report will go in depth into the actual real world problem the altcoin solves, the pros and cons of investing in the altcoin, which coin exchange you could buy it on, and any important updates that are near impossible to find out about the coin. Ultimately, the report was your one-stop shop for predicting the viability of the altcoin's future success. All you had to do was read it and decide if you want to go into it. And that was my job. Read these reports and decided which coins would be worth looking into so to prove them. And even though this was way faster than me having to dig through 7,000 altcoins, my team of researchers dissect about 20 altcoins a week, which meant we only cover 1,040 per year. At that rate, it would take us 7 years to research the entire market. And the altcoin market is one of the fastest growing markets in the world. And that was the problem. And there's only one solution: to figure out how to automate the whole process start to finish. I did something that no one has thought about doing in the crypto space. I decided to call my friends from my old job and ask them if there was a way I could automate this whole process. Everyone said that it was impossible. Too many altcoins, too many different systems, too many different platforms, too many different markets. But when there is a will, there is a way. So I found the best of the best in the world, recruited them, and sold them in on the vision. 3 months later, we launched Crypto Coin Pro software, our own private, in-house, one-of-a-kind software solution that allows us to scan the entire crypto market in real time. This software allowed us to instantly identify altcoins that met the profit patterns and would send us alerts. Once we got the alert, my team would go in and prepare the report for me to review. We now had the power to scan the entire market and also determine which altcoins would explode and which altcoins would come crashing down. This meant we knew exactly when to enter and when to exit. We had an unfair advantage over everyone else in the game. And the best part is, no one knew about it. And here's what it looks like. Using this 1-2 combo, we were able to pick winners as soon as they launched on the market. And we could see which coins would go from lukewarm to red hot in a matter of seconds. from never heard of it to that coin made me rich. Which red were starting to go up. It was to and walk away with the profit. Clock all the profit pattern. It was that simple, that easy. So after men starting asking me how I was doing it, because my hobby that allowed me to retire now turned into a real business. So instead of teaching them how I was doing it, I just gave them access to those research reports. And they started investing in crypto too and generating life returns. And that's when I realized I didn't just change my life, but it was changing other people's lives too. So I decided to do something that no one has ever done. I decided to give back. To do that, I decided to launch an exclusive invite-only research newsletter called Keystone Silver Platter, where every month you will get access to the same exact research reports that my team handed to me, except they would be delivering them directly to you on a silver platter. We only allow 250 new members into the club per year, and membership is closed off to members right now, so that the quality of the research reports remain high, and the first-in buying opportunities don't get oversold. This is what members were able to do with these research reports. Brian Hall, who was a complete new to all of this, and to be honest, a conservative and skeptical investor, was able to master the altcoin profit pattern, which meant he was able to identify and jump into XRP when it was just at 25 cents, and then follow the system to exit when it hit 72 cents, nearly tripling his investment. And with his minimal starting capital, he still made $5,000 profit from just one move. How about Steve Kane, who used a profit pattern and went into Cardano when it was at 4 cents with $80,000, and a year later hit 37 cents? He became a millionaire for the first time. And now Cardano is almost at $2. His $80,000 investment is now worth $3.2 million today. That is life-changing money. But it gets better. How about Ali, who came in clueless and turned $2,500 into over $300,000 cash in the course of 9 months? Who else can generate these types of returns? Nowhere. Or check out Phil Page, who turned $6,000 into over $30,000 cash. Or Karen Ortloff, who turned $12,000 into $50,000 cash. Or Dushanth Curry, who turned $5,000 into $90,000 cash. All from just following the profit pattern. And that's just the beginning, because their portfolios are still growing. After using the profit pattern for myself and sharing it with others, I started having more and more people come to me and ask me how I was able to do it. And to be honest, it's not easy teaching this, because every time I did, I had to spend hours explaining how every single detail worked. So me teaching it privately wasn't an option. People kept asking me, so I did the next best thing. I took everything I knew about cryptocurrency, the profit pattern, and everything else I learned in between, and I created a step-by-step course that will teach you how to do it yourself. You know the expression, give a man a fish, feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish, feed him for a lifetime. That's what I was determined to do. I'm gonna teach you how to go sea fishing, so you can feed yourself for a lifetime. And so I created a course called the Next Money Model. The Next Money Model is the process I use to discover and profit from altcoins. It's the same process we use to uncover the profit pattern and create the research reports. So you can do it for yourself too. It will take you from a clueless newbie who doesn't have a chance at winning to a pro who's consistently crushing it day in and day out, turning a buck into 2 into 200, and 200 into as much as you want. Module 1 of the Next Money Model will show you how to avoid making fundamental mistakes guaranteed to blow up your accounts. Module 2 mystifies the process of setting up and launching your account, making sure you're set up your wallet correctly, including how to liquidate your money out of your account seamlessly so you always have direct access to your profits. Module 3 is all about wallets security and will ensure you will never get hacked, robbed, or lose access to your account. This has never happened to me, and it won't happen to you if you follow my protocol. Module 4, which is all about shortcutting crypto pattern search. I'll show you which groups and chats to get into and which avoid like the plague, and how to condense research into minutes. Remember, crypto is a game of minutes, not hours, weeks, months. Sometimes you're minutes late and you lose, which means every minute saved is money in your pocket, which is exactly what I show you how to do in Module 4. Module 5 helps you crack the code on which altcoins have the necessary bugs and support, which leads to unstoppable momentum and staying power. Because that's one of the biggest illusions with altcoins. Almost any coin can be pumped up and rise temporarily, but that doesn't mean it will stay there. And a pumped up coin with the factor is likely to crash literally at any moment, essentially lighting all your gains on fire. This process will ensure you pick the coins beyond those short-term ups and downs, so you can cross 10x and 100x returns, ever elusive 1000x returns, and get to truly exchange paydays. It's like being able to go back in time and buy Bitcoin at $500. Module 6 is all about technology. Understanding this tech is the difference between being able to hit winners that will rise 500%, 2000%, even 10,000% or more. I'll show you how to evaluate the underlying technology, its founders, and whether it truly has staying power beyond the hype. But that's not all. You'll get to look over my shoulder and see real examples of me and my team using this process, locate altcoins to the profit pattern, to quickly assess their potential and then pull the trigger. Once you see this in action, you'll never be able to unsee it. It's like in years to the Matrix. 10 to 1000x opportunities literally appear to you, and you'll almost immediately know as you enter your trades with complete confidence and clarity. Just as importantly, you'll be immune to all the FOMO buying, all the panic selling, because you'll have a proven system and pattern guiding you to squeeze out every single drop of potential profit every step of the way. Once you get instant access to all of this, you'll go from knowing that it's possible to predict the future to actually being able to predict. And now you see just how easy it is to really do it. Turn $1 into 10, turn that 10 into $100 profit, and flip $100 into thousands of dollars, not just once, but over and over again. And once you do that enough times, money is no longer an issue. You'll go from thinking about how to make more to what you want to do and what you want to spend it on. You'll go from having to choose to having a choice, to finally being free and living the life you truly deserve, all by finally taking back control of one thing that controls you and everything in your life: your income. I've proved that this works. I've proved that this works for me, and I've proved that it worked for others. And now, I'm going to prove that it's going to work for you. And I'm going to do that by giving you access to everything risk-free for 60 days. That means you can go in, learn everything, use it for yourself, watch how much profit you'll make, and if you're not happy for any reason, if you make money hand over fist with this, just shoot us an email and give us a word, and we'll give you a no questions asked 100% refund issued directly back to your credit card. And on top of that, let you keep everything free of charge. How's that sound? If that's not fair, then I don't know what is. Because this isn't just about you being able to make money in crypto. What this is really about is you getting back control of the only thing that really matters: your money. That also comes complete control of your freedom, your time, your life. If the free information on YouTube teaching you how to make money with crypto could make you the kind of money you want to make, then everyone watching YouTube videos would be a millionaire. But we both know that doesn't work. And you know, when it comes to the best things in life, they say you get what you pay for. So let's talk about that. But first, let's get something out of the way. The price here is not important, because as you see in just a second, this whole thing will virtually cost you nothing. In fact, when it's all said and done, it will actually pay for itself and make you money. Because the reality is, I'm giving you the blueprint that allowed me to become a self-made millionaire at 20 years old and retire at 20. and I'm backing it up with a 60-day risk-free money-back guarantee. If it doesn't do everything I told you it would, then you can keep everything free of charge, get your money back, no questions asked. So the only real question here is not whether you can afford to do this. The real question is, can you afford not to? How long are you going to continue doing what you've been doing, living the way you're living, and hoping for something good to happen for you? It's time to stop waiting and start doing. They say we all have to pay the price of success. I've already paid most of it for you by figuring out everything you need to do. You won't have to pay that price, and you won't pay near what everyone else charges to help you make money with crypto. So forget paying thousands of dollars to some crypto guru that doesn't know what he's talking about. Forget paying $1,000 for a high-end course. Forget paying $500 because this costs way less than that. And $250 would be a damn good deal, considering that 100,000 others became self-made millionaires already in crypto. But we're not here to make deals. We're here to change lives. So we're here to chop the price down in half, down to $125. And then we'll take another $28 off, which lands us on $97. To get instant access to everything we just talked about is only $97. That's it. And that's a deal of a lifetime. Because that's less than a decent dinner at a nice restaurant. That's less than what you spend on random stuff on Amazon. That's less than what you spend in the grocery store. As they say, money comes, money goes, but life goes on. We both know that you'll spend $97 either way. The question is, on what? Are you going to spend it on something that will change your life? Or something that will be just another thing you buy? As John Lennon once said, life passes you by while you're busy planning. Don't let your life pass you by while you're busy thinking about this. Sitting on the sidelines once again. Watching others become millionaires. Watching everyone rich. Everyone else you. You missed out once, don't miss out again. Sat on the sidelines watching it happen for everyone else. Isn't it time to make it happen for yourself? You decided to wait and see before, and the only thing you saw was everyone else getting filthy rich. This isn't a question of if this is going to work for you. This is the question of, are you going to let that happen again? Or are you going to do something about it? Before you landed on this video, you didn't have a choice. Because you had an excuse. And your excuse, you didn't know how you were going to do it. Well, you never have an excuse. Because I'm going to give you everything you need to do this. And now you have a choice. A choice to make. The choice to ignore everything I just told you and continue taking the hard path in life, trying to keep your head above water, hoping eventually in years to come you might just break free. Or you can choose to take everything I just showed you and use a proper pattern to discover newly launched or lukewarm altcoins and instantly know which are going to go from lukewarm to hot and take off. That can turn a handful of cash you put in into bags of cash you pull out. But I can't make this decision for you. All I can do is show you the way. The choice is yours and only yours to make. But choose carefully. Because the decision you make right now is going to decide the rest of your life. Because it's a decision that has the power to set you free. One you look back on and realize that this very moment was the moment that changed everything for you. So right now, your chances to get access to all of this has appeared under this video. See that button? All you have to do is click it. That button is your way out. Because the moment you click it is the moment you choose to make that decision. Hit that button and realize that click is the only thing standing between you and the knowledge you need to consistently pick winners. Hit that button and realize that click is the only thing standing between you and everything you want in life. Hit that button and realize that click is the only thing standing between you and freedom. Hit that button and set yourself free. Freedom and are waiting for you on the other side of that button. And just so you know, I'm not risking anything here. All the risk is on me. Because remember, if you're not happy for any reason whatsoever, or no reason at all you have to do is let me know and I'll personally see to it you are fully refunded every single penny, no questions asked. And you know what? You can keep everything free of charge as my way of saying thank you for trying it out. Think about it. If I'm wrong, you're out a few minutes of your time and a quick email to cancel. But if I'm right, I'm not asking you to buy anything here. All I'm asking you to do is try. I'm not asking you to say yes. I'm asking you to say maybe. Just maybe for 60 days. Everything I just showed you, start investing in altcoins. Pick winners, turn a buck into two into 200 over and over again. And if you don't, then you don't pay. And you keep everything free of charge. Everything I just told you probably goes against what you've heard from your friends, family, your teachers, and maybe even everyone else you know. I can only ask you one question. How many of them are self-made millionaires? Listen, it's up to you. A month from today, you can be nothing more than 30 days older. Or you can be on your way to becoming a self-made crypto millionaire. You decide. Still here? Well, I want you to ask yourself, why? Who do you want to be? One who continues to clock in 9 to 5, selling their life 1 hour at a time for a few bucks? Or the one who has all the free time in the world to enjoy life? The one who lives life based on the price of everything? Or the one who picks and chooses exactly what he wants? Do you want to watch your bank account balance go up little by little, or see it double, triple, or quadruple in a matter of weeks and months? Do you want the moment you think about getting that house, car, or vacation to make you sick to your stomach because you can't afford it? Or do you want to make you smile because money is no longer an issue? Believe me, I know there are doubts. There are doubts that come along with anything great you'll ever do. But at some point, the logic has to kick in. Your quality of life and bank account balance could be going way up, all while your stress would be going way down. You risk nothing here and stand anything to gain. So the real question is, how can you be smart and not do this? You already made a mistake once by missing out. Don't make another one by not getting in while you still have the chance. Just think, this decision isn't just a decision you're making now. You're making this decision now, not only for today, but for the rest of your life. From now on, every time you see your bank account monthly statements, you'll think back to this video. Will you find yourself filled with regret because you passed up on the opportunity to do something while you still had the time? Or will you be enjoying the life you always wanted, all because of the decision you made right now, while you still have the chance? I ask, if you don't do it now, when it's this easy, when will you do it? Now is the time. Right now, when it's clear to you what's at stake and it's fresh in your mind. Now is the time to do the right thing for you and your family. Make them proud. Let's go. Hit that button below, hit it now, and let's give you back the power by giving you back control of your income. Take your first step forward to becoming financially free. Step into freedom. Hit that button below. Remember, it's completely risk-free. I'm not asking you to do anything. I'm just asking you to try. If you don't get the kind of money you make, you don't pay. So where are those doubts coming from? You've already seen how this has the power to change your entire life. It's time to set yourself free. Hit the button below right now and take back control of your income. Hit the button. This isn't a joke. This is your future we're talking about here, and you already made it this far. We both know you're serious. Now is the time to prove it. You watched this video, you've seen it work for me, you've seen it work for others. You know it will work for you. The button you see below, it's not just a button, it's your escape plan. It's you breaking the chains and finally saying, enough is enough. This income is no longer going to determine the quality of my life. Look, it's not your fault you missed out the first time around. But now that you know what to do about it, it will be your fault if you do miss out this time around. Hit the button, do it now, or forever wish you did. Hit the button below, and I will have a special surprise waiting for you on the other side that I can't publicly talk about here. Something that will take everything I told you and do it all for you. Something you will have to see to believe. Hit that button now, and I'll see you on the other side where I'll show it to you.
अरे उन्हीं अरे अरे वाला कॉम्पिटिशन था मतलब